And with that, we're now going to move on to the movie review section of our show. And hey, how the tables have turned.
My, I have failed you all.
I saw the movie, and then my car broke down right after. It was a hell of a night. But
Did you dip your toe into the infinity pool?
oh, I saw the infinity pool, good sir.
He refused to tell me anything about it at this point, so everything he's going to say, I am hearing for the first time.
That's right, I didn't talk about it.
He refused. I kept going, how was it? And you would just change the subject.
That's funny.
I don't think you intended to either. I think your brain just scattered.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Listen, if you know anything about me, when my car goes down, forget all sense of rational thought. But anyway, Infinity Pool. This film is directed by the son of David Cronenberg.
Yes.
And I believe his son's name is Brandon Cronenberg. Thank you. So you know the type of movie that you're going to get when you watch it. I did not enjoy this movie.
Does he very much follow his dad's kind of style? Or just...
Yes and no.
You just know you're getting something fucked up.
In that sense, yes. You know you're getting something fucked up, but his style was very different. It was more experimental than his father. And I don't think... Here's what I'm going to say. If I'm not going to enjoy your movie, at least make it unique and not boring and bland. Mm-hmm. And this movie is anything but that. The movie is not boring. It's not bland. It's very much its own style, its own thing, has its own identity. It just didn't quite fully work for me. Mm-hmm. But let me talk about positive things, though, first. First of all, Mia Goth. Amazing in the movie. Skarsgard. I forget which one it is.
Alexander
Skarsgard. Amazing in the movie. Most of the performances are great. There are some not so great, but those two crush it in the film. The actual plot of the film, which I'll reveal, I'm not sure the trailers even reveal the plot of the film. The plot of the film is fucking awesome. Like, it's dark. The plot is very dark and makes you think and is very interesting. To me, they fumbled the ball in the execution.
Okay.
But the plot of the film and the two lead performances were really, really good. Liked them. There is shock value for the sake of shock value, and I don't think it's necessary for the story, which kind of also follows in his father's footsteps. Which, to some point, like, my audience were laughing. And I don't think you were supposed to. And now, there's some where you are supposed to, and we did. But there are some where you certainly were not supposed to, and then they did. You know, oh my God, you know what this movie reminds me of? The entire runtime reminds me of the first half of Mandy.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as the first half of Mandy, but it's very much that style of movie.
To tie it back, a great Andrea Riseborough performance in Mandy.
Yes, correct.
Okay, but yeah, like the solid color, like just kind of...
Not even the visual style, but just like the type of movie it is. The type of feeling you have. Mm-hmm. It's just that.
Okay.
And they do have some experimental sequences in there. By the way, there's an NC-17 cut of this movie that I do want to see after watching it.
Like, is that confirmed, or are you just... Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I do want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to... Because, like, I watched the R-rated, I'm like, what could have been worse? But, because there's some... It's gruesome. It's gruesome as balls, this movie. But, yeah, it's a very unique style, very unique stamp. It just didn't quite push the right buttons for me. It was paced fine. What I liked about the film is the characters were very distinct. Like, Mia Goth's character, without getting into spoilers... If they recasted Harley Quinn down the line, I would want Mia Goth to play her, and it's because of this performance and the type of character she is in this story.
Not even Pearl?
I mean, Pearl's great, and you could see it there. But, like, this is the one where I'm like, I see it. Like, I see when other people talk about it. It's this performance.
Okay.
And because she controls... There's a scene... The inciting incident of the movie really kicks it off and is interesting, and she controls what's going on. Like, her character kind of steps up. And just seeing that shift, that change in her character was really interesting. And now, for those that don't want to know the plot of the movie at all, I'm literally just telling you the plot of the movie. I'm not going to tell you any spoilers, but I don't think the plot's been advertised. So if you don't want to know it, click away now. Thank you so much. But the plot of this movie is this. A bunch of rich people are at a third world country on vacation. And... they can't leave the little vacation suite. They're told it's too dangerous. Do not leave it. Don't. Mia Goth. So Skarsgard's there with his wife. Mia Goth's there with her husband. Him and Mia Goth kind of have a will they won't they affair kind of thing going on. and then they invite them to go outside of the resort with them because they go every year, and it's this nice little beach they want to go to, right? Like, sure. They go to the beach. The inciting incident happens. I won't explain what it is. They get arrested. And the crime is pretty bad. I'll say that. And the guy comes into jail and talks to Skarsgard and says, all right, here's the deal. The punishment for your crime is execution. But we love tourism money, and we've made an excellent deal with the United States. We have a machine here that develops an exact clone copy of yourself, and we'll just kill that clone. But you have to watch it happen. That's the only stipulation. You got to be there for it. Mm-hmm. And then, as the movie goes along, these rich people discover there's no consequences to their actions. They can do whatever they want. They just keep cloning and murdering the clones throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. And that leads to some shenanigans that I'm not going to spoil for anyone. Mm-hmm. That concept sounds pretty fucking dark and rad, right?
Yeah.
They fumble it. They fumble it big time. But
it just sounds like Westworld.
Kind of. And look, I don't think the movie's terrible. Mm-hmm. I think it really creatively swung for the fences, and to me, it struck out. Mm-hmm. But not to everyone. I'm sure there's people that are going to love it. To me, though, more of an interesting concept than execution. And I'm going to say, for me personally, not a recommend. Mm-hmm.
Would you have any interest in, I know one of his first movies is called Possessor.
I'd be interested in seeing it.
I think it just came out on Hulu. I was curious if you were intrigued enough to want to watch like his first thing.
I would be. I would be intrigued to watch it because the style of the film is not necessarily what I hated. Mm-hmm. I just think that style with this story didn't work.
Okay.
And I'd be more than open to watching that film.
Like, do you think there's a good R- shock value movie in it?
Yeah.
Or do you think it needs the shock?
No. I mean, the shock wasn't really what was wrong with it. It was just It's hard to do it without spoiling it.
Yeah.
But the decisions it goes and the questions it wants you to ask, it keeps repeating beats and not moving the story forward. It keeps being stagnant.
Okay.
And it's stagnant for the sake of let me show you my style, but we're going to stop the movie to show you the style. Real ways, when the movie was moving along with the style, it was working. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's something in the water at the Cronenberg house, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely something going on. But yeah, have you guys seen Infinity Pool? Did you like Infinity Pool more than I did? Maybe you didn't. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the movie.